what is application packaging. So the first person who can do is a fresher. Then the second person is if a person is working in an organization and they are working as service desk. So service desk are the person who basically do the level 1 work in the organization. So they have a knowledge of applications, that how the application look and how it works. So basically, if I give you an example what is application, so you people would be using many applications in your Android phones or in your iPhones. So this all applications are made available to you. You just have to go to the Play Store and iOS Store and you have to download it. So the same way in an organization we do the packaging activities and we make the application available to all end users depending upon the requirement. So there can be n number of requirement, and according to that n number of requirement we package the application and we make it available, or we make it automatically download to the user's machine. So when I say automatic download, this means that user will not come to know that the application is automatically installed at the back end. So they just have to launch the shortcut and the application will be available to the user. So for an example, now we are having a Zoom. So Zoom is one of the application. So if any organization is using the Zoom application in their organization, so that repackaging work which involves a lot of customization, all that is done by a application packager. So application packaging is the source file which is developed by the developer, and once that is developed and is given to us, then we do the repackaging, we do the customization. So basically what we are doing is the customization according to the customer requirements, and then that is called a application repackager. So in the customization we do lot of things. We bundle the application and OS into a single file. We do the scripting, we do the customization like a removal of the shortcut from the desktop or removal of unwanted shortcuts, making the ARP add remove program visibility enable or disable. So add remove program is something like in the control panel you can see that there are many applications listed. So you would be able to see the option of uninstall, the option of remove, the option of repair. So all that modification customization is done by a application packager. So being the application packager, we can customize application as per the customer requirement. We can provide a standard method through which we can customize, we can develop, we can install, we can uninstall, we can repair, and we can reinstall the application as per the requirement. So the second level which I said, the second thing is the service desk person who can do. The third is the desktop support. So the person who is working as a desktop support, they work as a L2, L 1.5 and L2 level. So they are the one who does the work of L 1.5 and L2. So they know that how if they have the ability of, if any of the person from this particular participant, if they have worked in desktop support, they will be aware that they have a active directory rights. They can push the application to the customer, they can remove the application to the customer. So if they learn about how they can do the packaging, then they can move to the technical field, because packaging is absolutely technical. And if I talk about the level, so how the level which we work is L3 and L4. 3 and L4. So after desktop support, we have SCCM person and Intune person. So SCCM and Intune is something which respects to the basically what we do as a packager. We know how to deploy the application. So that is done via SCCM and Intune. But separately, if we see SCCM and Intune, this is, it has a very big infrastructure, and we can do lot of things via SCCM and via Intune. So a person who is already working in as a SCCM administrator or as a Intune administrator, if they learn about packaging and if they do the cross skilling, then obviously they can have a good salary. I'm saying that SCCM and Intune person already, it the work which they are doing is already at level 3 and level 4 only, but if they combine their skill set along with the application packaging, then obviously in that case, the future is very bright in terms of that. Then the person who is working as Office 365 or SharePoint, or there is a separate team wherein the people work for the teams and all that, they provide support to the teams respect of things, so in that case also such person can learn about this application packaging. Then is the chat or voice support. So the person who completely works as a support, like they give the chat support or voice support, in that case that is completely non-technical work. So if they want to move to the technical terms, then they can learn about the application packaging. Along with that, we have a service management infrastructure in our organization, wherein the people are involved in change management, or they are involved in incident management. So there are such things like change service, and so all that person who has been working as service management, change management and incident management, they can also learn about this, because what work they are doing is a mixture of technical and non-technical, but if they completely wants to move to the technical term, then they can learn about this packaging. Along with that, the person who is working as a accounting, so I cannot say that the person who has only done the graduation in a science stream, they can only learn about the packaging. The person who has worked who has graduate from the commerce, they can also learn about the packaging. Who has been working as a accounting and all that, they can also learn about the application packaging course. So if any of you participant get enrolled with this packaging, then do the how I'm going to do the packaging. So first of all, when I start the training, I give an experience thing, like I first tell you that what is application packaging and what are the technical terms which are related to the application packaging. So first is the technical terms which I explain, and whatever the technical terms I explain, I give it via examples, and that example will be in a such a way that you people can relate to your work and can able to understand. Once the technical terms is done, then I give the practical demo. So practical demo, we give it in terms of the tools. So we use admin studio tool and Orca. So this is the particular tool which we used for packaging the application. So there are certain set of source file which we get it from the customer, and according to that we create the application via the tool. So once the practical demo is done, along with that I will also explain about the scripting. So if I tell you about the scripting, we have particularly four types of scripting which I will be discussing in my training. So one is the batch, second is the VB script, then is the PowerShell, and then is the PSADT. So basically the scripting types are only three. One is the batch, then VB, then PowerShell. The fourth one, which is PSADT, that is type of a PowerShell only. It stands for PowerShell App Deployment Toolkit. It is something which is developed by Microsoft. Most of the organization, if I talk about, around 70% of the organization is using PSADT as of now, but few organizations are still using VB script and PowerShell. So that is the reason I will be covering all types of scripting, so that if you get selected to any of the company, you should have a knowledge of all the types of scripting, so that you can accordingly work on that organization. So PS Edit is something which is a Microsoft tool which is developed, and it has a predefined set of PowerShell scripting. So this makes us easy to do the scripting. So these are the few things scripting, and once the scripting is done, practical demo is done. Technical terms, there are many technical terms with respect to application packaging. Once all this is done, then I will be going forward with the interview questions, which will be like a scenario based question also, and as a level of experience type of question also, that in this particular experience what questions can be asked by you. So all that interview question is there, and at the end there is a multiple choice questions which will be shared to you people so that you can practice it by yourself. So once that is done, then I will be sharing you few documents one by one. First I will be explaining you those documents. Those documents are the such documents which is required to be filled when you are doing a packaging activities. Obviously the content get differs from organization to organization, but sorry, not the content will be same, but the structure of the document will be same, but the content of the document will be same. So I will be showing you all that document. I will be explaining you first, and once the explanation is completed, I will be also sharing that document with you people, so that if you people are working, and if an organization demands that you have to create those document, then you can take help of that document. So the few documents are, first is the PRF, which stands for package request form. Then is the QA document, which stands for quality assurance. Then is the complexity document, which will tell you about that the applications which you are getting for a packaging, whether it is a simple, whether it is a complex, or whether it is a medium. So that document will be there. The presentation, which I will be using it every day to tell you about the technical terms, about the scripting and all that. That presentation also I will be sharing with you people. Along with that, all types of script which I will be showing you as an example, all script I will share with you people, so that you people can create your own practical, people can create your own project in your personal machine, and you can do the practicing by installing and uninstalling application. So these are the few things which I will be sharing with you people. So if I talk about the application, we have few types of source file. The packaging, it is like with every new application you will face new challenges, and then you would be able to solve, and then the way you will do more and more packages, you will face new challenges, and more you will grow. So it all depends upon your means like your experience, nothing else.
Okay.
So you are basically doing Intune.
Yes.
For which organization you're working?
I work for an Australian organization. Uh,
Okay, okay, fine, fine.
Multinational.
Okay, so before we start, what is application packaging and what is application repackaging? So there are two terms. What we do is repackaging. We call it as packaging, but what we are doing is application repackaging. So I will tell you the difference between application packaging and application repackaging. So application packaging is something which a developer develops the exe or msi, which we get it like we get a vendor msi, or we get a legacy file which is the exe, or we get a loose files which is combined together to create, either we can create a msi. So that is what which is done by the developer, that is application packaging. And what we do is the repackaging. So what we do, we customize the application as per the user requirements. So like you said that you remove the desktop shortcut, you deleted some registry file to have some features removal, or whatever modify the registry or modify the files and folders. So such types of customization we are doing with that exe or msi which is we have received from a developer. So that is what is the customization. So it is basically a standard method for customizing, developing, installing, uninstalling, repairing, add, remove, or reinstall support. So that is what is application repackaging. Then if we talk about benefits of repackaging, what is the benefits of repackaging? So there are many benefits of repackaging. So first is sharing. You can create an application and you can share it to n number of users in your organization, and that is also done through a silent mode. Users will get the application in a silent mode and they will be able to use it. They don't have to click on next to install that application. They don't have to see the graphical user interface. So that is what is about the repackaging, that you can have it, you can share it. Then installation on demand. As per the demand, you can install the application to the n number of users depending upon the requirement. Then is the managed shared resources. So you can share the resources. There is a term in the packaging part in which, like, we have two applications. Application one is Chrome and application two is Firefox. For an example I am taking. So maybe they have something which is common. Maybe one is also application one is having some common files and application two is also having common files. Then in that case we can have a merge module, and that can be that merge module can be used for both the applications. So you don't have to create for both the applications separately, but in a single way you can have it and you can give it to both the applications. So that is how the resources are shared and managed. Advertising. So every application has a shortcut, and that is how the application is advertised. So advertising a shortcut to use that application is the term which we say as advertising. We can save time and effort because we don't have to install the application one by one. Rather, to multiple users we can deploy the application and multiple users can use the application. Then is the consistency automation. It is itself automated because we have a scripting, we have a tool through which we are doing the automation. We are customizing the application as per our organization needs. So that is what about the consistency automation. Then is the most important, repair, self-healing, self-repair. Did you pinged anything? I think somebody pinged.
No, I didn't.
Okay, no problem. I thought somebody pinged it. Okay, so yeah, repair, self-healing, and self-repair. So there is a way for any MSI, not for this property is not for EXE, but this property is for MSI. You would have seen that in the add remove program we have an option called as repair. So this means that if any application file or folder or registry is deleted, that we can repair that application. There is a way to repair it, to self-heal it. We'll learn more about this repair, self-healing, and self-repair because this is a separate topic in application packaging and very important topic. As of now, I can just explain you in a way that it repairs the file. If any file or folder or any registry is deleted by mistake or is corrupted, then repackaging MSI has a property to repair that file, and it will automatically come to that place.
It goes to the original configuration.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
right. But that is only with MSI, not with EXE.
Yes. Yeah.
Then we have source resiliency. um, we can there are three types of basically source file when we do the packaging. One is the exe, one is the msi, and the third is the loose files. So loose files, mostly people are not aware, but sometimes we get such type of files also, which we have to combine it, or we can say we have to wrap it, and we have to create a msi, because we cannot give the loose files to the requester. Or either via script also we can do it. It's like we can copy the files to one place via script, and we can create a shortcut in the start menu so that the user will launch, then they can use that application. So sometimes it happens that the loose file is there, but the shortcut, you have to go to that particular location, and then you can use that application. But that is not the way, because how the user will know? So in that case, you have to create a shortcut in the start menu, and via script you can do it. Or the other way is wrapping, which is done, which is the way to create a msi. So this is the um, benefit of repackaging. Let me know if I go fast. Okay.
Okay.
Then how we will come to know the version of Windows installer. So Windows installer is something which is all about MSI packaging. So this is important, and every machines have a Windows installer. So this is the way we can know the version of Windows installer in our machine. So this is how it is. So for every system, the version will be little different, but this is what it is going on market. So this can be asked in interview question, that how you can find the version of Windows installer. And it has the silent installation commands also, which we use it while installing MSI. So it has been, means like they have explained that what and all is the command, and how you can use it. So all that commands you can find it in more details.
Do we need to regularly update this version, or
No,
it
no,
auto
it
updates?
automatic updates. Actually, like you have bits, right, in the
Hmm.
services. Same way
Yeah.
we have Windows installer.
Okay.
I'll show you. See Windows installer. And this is basically for MSI, MSP, MST. They have explained that it adds, modifies, and remove applications provided as a Windows installer .msi or .msp package. If the service is disabled, you wouldn't be able to install that MSI. Any services that extremely depend on it will fail to start. This means that if you want to, if like here we don't have an option to disable it, but in your organization system you would be able to disable it. There is an option in the startup type, we can go and disable it. So in that case you wouldn't be able to install any application which has an MSI. Like this is manual, right? So this way you can disable the Windows installer. So this is what is the services. We don't have to update it. Okay. So first, then I will explain you the source files. So as I said, we have three types of source file: exe, MSI, loose files. Have you seen the loose files?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I'll show you. So basically, we have three types of source files in application packaging. First is the exe, which we called it as a legacy setup, or you can say it as a executable also. Anything you can call. So legacy setup or executable is a software file which is commonly found on the Windows OS. It is a exe type file, meaning that it is executable. So exe has many disadvantage. That is why most of the organization, they want a MSI file, they don't want exe file, because we have many disadvantage of exe. So I'll discuss that first. So the disadvantage is, first of all, it does not roll back. So rollback in the sense, when we are installing any application, like I am taking as an example as a MSI, and by mistake your systems get off. Maybe the power is not there, or anything would have happened that system gets automatically off. In that case, if it is a MSI application, it will automatically roll back. This means that it will delete whatever the file is installed in your machine. Everything will be deleted, so that the system does not float. But in exe, if you are installing any application and half of the way the application is installed and it gets switched off or anything, then it will not roll back. Whatever you have installed, half of the thing, like half of the way the application is installed, so half of the files will be extracted to your machine. And then it becomes difficult to uninstall it, because sometimes, because it is halfway installed, so it does not do the clean uninstallation. So this is one of the issue with the executable files, that it does not roll back. So that is why few organizations says that as per their standard, that if it is a exe, still you convert it to MSI. We don't want an exe. So depending upon the organization. So when it does not roll back, then there is a high support cost, because you have to find each and every file, that where it is extracted. We have to find a way to do the clean uninstallation. Then is the fragile installs and uninstalls. Difficult and labor intensive to deploy. Sometimes it become difficult and labor intensive to deploy, because exe, like sometimes you get a silent parameter for exe, sometimes you get a MSI extracted to it, but sometimes there is a way that you will not get any of these two. Then we have to convert it to MSI, which is the third thing, which is the huge step. This is not a simple step, it requires a time to capture and then do the MSI. So it becomes very difficult in that case to deploy, to do the clean uninstallation, which is not there with MSI. If you click on uninstall of MSI, MSI will do the clean uninstallation.
It will not leave behind any temp files and
No, no.
etc.
No,
Okay.
it will not leave until and unless there is a way, like for MSI, we have components, we have files and folders. So sometimes if the component is marked as no in the, like when you open the component, that is marked as no, in that case they can leave the component. But if you mark it as yes, then it will do the clean uninstallation. Mostly it will be marked as yes only, but sometimes it may happen that it is leaving. Then go to the, like open the MSI with the tool and mark it as yes, and it will do the clean uninstallation. But exe, we don't have any tool. Means like exe is something like you cannot do inside part you cannot touch it. There is no such tool for exe that you can see what and all way the files and folders is, the shortcut is. But for msi we can. So are you using any tool for doing msi packaging?
Uh, I've uh, I've used just the Adobe customization visit recently, but I
That is
was
only for Adobe
yeah, yeah,
application.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I spent some time on install sheet,
Okay.
looking
So
into
do you have
what's.
a license in your organization for install shield?
Oh no, no, not yet. I mean, I've used it on my personal computer to learn, but not on
Okay.
organization. But once I finish this, I might request for license.
Okay. So Admin Studio is the license tool. So that is
Yeah.
something like you can use for all types of packaging. Even for the Adobe package, you can use MSI packaging, means like for Admin Studio also. So
Mhm.
you can do many things through install shield. There is many things which you can do, not only msi packaging. We have AppV, we have msix, we have loose files, we have basic msi. So many things you can do through the Admin Studio. So through Admin Studio you have to like, Admin Studio is the tool name, Flexera is the manufacturer, and inside Admin Studio we have install shield. So install shield is a part of Admin Studio.
Okay.
Another disadvantage is there is no self healing and repair, which I said in the beginning only, that the self healing and repair property is only for MSI. It is not there for EXE. Customization is not possible. Means you can customize it, but you can do it via script only. You cannot go inside the exe and you can do any modification. Like for msi we can create a transform through an install shield tool and we can do the customization, but with this we cannot. So there is no transparency of installed files, folders, registries. We don't know that where exactly which folders and files it is getting installed. But with MSI, if you open via tool, you can easily see like where and all it is getting installed. So this is an disadvantage of having an exe file. Now, if I talk about MSI, whatever are the disadvantage, that becomes the advantage of MSI, that it rollbacks, it does not hold a high support cost and high support cost. There is no fragile installs and installs. So whatever is the disadvantage is the advantage of MSI. Now is the loose files. I'll show it how it looks. So here you can see that I have exe, I have msi, and there is one folder name as pack 2021. So if you open this, it is a set of files and folders. So there is a set of files and folders, and there is no such exe or there is no such msi which installs the application. There is few exe, like this exe is there, but that is not for installing the application. Rather, if I click on it, it will launch the application. So I'll show how it will launch. So this is how it is launching. Like if we are installing any application, we can see its entry in app remove program. So this is how the app remove program is. But if you are installing, like if I have launched this application, there is no such entry.
Okay.
So obviously we have to provide a way that user can use this application in their machine. So there is no entry, there is no shortcut in the start menu or in the desktop, nothing is there. It is just a group of files and folders. So how people are going to use it? So we get such type of request also. In that case, what you have to do, there is a two way, either via script, copy the folder to one location and create a shortcut in one location. Give me just 1 minute, I'm getting a call. Excuse. Yeah, so I was talking about loose files. Yeah, so there is a two way, as I said. One is the uh, creating a script, and with the script we have to create a shortcut in the start menu so that the user can launch it. Then we have to create a registry entry so that the user can see that application entry in the add remove program. Or the second way is the capture way, through which there is a step, we have to do it through a repackager. There is a part of repackager in admin studio itself. So with that we have to take a capture and we have to create an MSI, and that MSI we can deliver it to the user. So that is what about the loose files. Hmm. Uh, Now I will explain you the way the requirement comes to the organization, depending upon the product based and service based. Okay. First of all, when the request comes, it differs depending upon the service and product based. So I will explain simultaneously both. So first is the requirement gathering. So in the service based, the application request comes either via a ServiceNow tool or any tool. It can be Zira or any tool which is there in that organization, or it can come via mail, it can come via SharePoint, and or it can come via ServiceNow request. Yeah, this is the three way: mail, SharePoint, and the ServiceNow request. So when it comes via mail, the requester will drop a mail to that particular organization that I want this application, and accordingly, depending upon how they manage that application, either via request or via mail, they will do the packaging. And then if it is coming via SharePoint, then the requester will upload the required file which is required for packaging, and there is also a document which we call as PRF or PIF. So that is package request form or package information file. So depending upon the organization, the term is different, but it is basically a document which have the details of the application, that how the application will be installed in the user's machine, what type of source file is it, how the users wants to install it. So that all information with the screenshot, it will be there in that document. Then the third way is the ServiceNow. So ServiceNow, there can be n number of ways. Either it can be through a ServiceNow request SC task which comes. It can be through a task. It can be through a RATM. Except incident, it can be any of the way. It can come via ServiceNow, depending upon organization to organization. So they will raise a request, and then there will be a path of the server where they have to place the source file of that application, and along with that they have to place the PRF or PIF and the installation document if present. So this is the three way the request comes. Same way for the product based also, just that the requirement will be little bit different when we say requirement gathering. So requirement gathering in the product based, because product based companies are such that they are doing the packaging for themselves, they don't have to do it for the other client. Like for service based company, we have many such service based companies. So for that company, they are working for different clients. So clients will be different clients will be there, so accordingly they have to deliver the application. So they will deliver whatever their requirement is. But for product based, how they collect the requirement, like if you have raised a request for Mozilla Firefox, and your organization is already having a Google Chrome, so they will suggest you first that this application is already there, uh, which has the same functionality, that is doing everything, it is browsing and doing everything. Then we would request you to use this particular application, that is called a designing. Why so? Because every application involves a cost to the organization, and more number of application gets increased, more and more cost gets increased, more and more difficult way to handle such applications. So that is why in the product based, they will give you the suggestion that we have the same functionality application, you use it. If it still doesn't work, for an example, there is another example, there is another application, and we suggested some application which is not doing the requirement of that application, then user has to come with a justification that this is not working the way it works, so we need this application. They have to give the business justification, and if the business justification is found suitable, then only the packager will be allowed to do the packaging. But in service based, whatever the request comes, we have to deliver that application. We cannot ask for like we have this application, why you are not using this? Because obviously in the service based, you are raising a like your earning is with each and every application. So more and more number of applications, more and more cost you are generating, so obviously you will do the packaging. So both way it works different. So this is something, requirement gathering is something which is done in the product based company. So they will do the requirement gathering, like if the application has the same functionality, they will give the suggestion. If the browser if any application has a browser version, they will give the suggestion that use the browser version. Why do you need the application in the machine when you have a browser? So that type of requirement they will gather, and they will provide it to the requester. Then is the evaluation assessment. So evaluation and assessment is something wherein we will check the source file. We will check whether the source file is installing the same way it should install or not. It is doing the uninstallation proper hardware or not, it is not getting corrupted. We will check the PRF, which is the package request form. We will check it that it is doing the same way installation or not. All that evaluation and assessment is done in that particular section. Then once the evaluation and assessment is passed, then we will do the packaging process. So packaging process we will do, like if it is MSI, we will create a transform. If it is a exe, we will create a silent installation key, or the say along with the script which we have to create, and along with the documents, there are few documents which we have to create along with the script packaging, and that and all we will do, and then we will go with the deployment part. So when we again say the deployment part, every organization is different in that way. Few organization do the packaging deployment together, few organization is something that they are creating the packaging, and then there is a separate team for deployment who is doing the deployment either through a SCCM or Intune. So it is completely different, and depending upon the organization how it is doing, how it is done. So if I say mostly the company which favors the factory model. So have you heard about the factory model?
Uh, no.
No. So basically, few service-based companies have the factory model. So such means like that there is a few huge companies which has a factory model. So what they do, there will be a set of people in that factory model uh, who have to do the only the packaging thing. So they will be doing the packaging as per the complexity of the application. They will be allotted with the application, and they don't have to work only for one client, rather they will be distributed to multiple client. Means one person will be doing the packaging for different clients in the same organization. So that
Mm.
is what is the factory model, and their burden will be too much, because there will be SLA running. You have to deliver the application in a proper timeline. The package should be error free. So many challenges with the factory model. So there are few service based company which uses the factory model, and obviously in that case burden is too much in such companies.
We
uh,
call it MSP, Managed Service Provider. It's, I think, I work for multiple clients, what you just described. Thank you.
yeah, we can say that, but basically that term is given as factory model. So we say that
Mhm.
like if any organization is calling you, they will tell you that like in the sense, in the service based, you have been selected, you got selected, you have joined the company, and then they are calling you, you are in the bench, and then they are calling you and they are asking you ki, okay, this is what, and you have to work on factory model. So it is something like I'll say no, because obviously factory model is something you will not get a time to breathe also. It is not just that with the SLA you have to do one packaging. There will be multiple applications assigned, and you have to see the application, all the applications together, and it should be error free, because there will be someone who will be doing the QA. So that is very tough. Then the packaging process with the SCCM deployment is done. Uh, so in few organization, it is something like when we are doing the packaging, like we raise the SC task, so that task will be converted to the change. So that is like different to different organization, it differs. So it is something like they do that request via change, they don't do it via any task. So they will raise the change, and with the change they will schedule it, and accordingly with the packaging part they will go ahead. So once the packaging is done, the deployment is done, a packager has tested the deployment. If they are doing the deployment, they will pass it for the QA. So QA, again there is depending upon the organization, there is a different team for QA in some organization. uh, in some organization it is like a peer review. Another person in your team will review that application, we call it as a peer review. So either that person or in the team, if there is there are few senior person, so we will be giving that application for quality testing to them. So they will check the test, they will test the application, they will test the quality of the application, that whether the application is meeting the requirement, it is getting installed as per the instruction given in the document or in the PRF. They will launch the application, they will see whether the standards of your organization is there or not. So everything that they will review in the quality test. And there is a document also for quality test, wherein there is a one portion wherein the packager will fill, and the another portion the requester will the QA person will fill. And it is something like pass or fail, whether that particular thing is pass or not, whether that particular portion is fail. So that is how they have to fill it. So once the QA is passed, then it will be given, if there is a SCCM team, then it will be given to that team for the pilot testing. So once the it is provided to the pilot testing is done, then with the pilot testing is successful, then it will go for production deployment, or we can say that UAT. So that is how the overall flows goes on for any application packaging request. Any questions with this?
Nothing so far. Thank you.
So now I will show you the PRF. Then I will show you the the QA checklist also.